and welcome to the world-famous Sportatorium right here in Dallas, Texas. I'm Michael St. John, and we've got a whole hour of wrestling action coming your way. Shocking news in the USWA, and fans here in Texas are totally shocked by the fact that flamboyant Eric Embry has decided to join forces with the arch-enemy. Tojo Yamamoto has bought off Eric Embry, who is the new Texas heavyweight champion. And to add insult to injury, Eric Embry is now teamed with gorgeous Gary Young, his former Biddle rival. And that will be coming up. We will see tag team action in a special match coming to the Sportatorium next Friday night involving Eric Embry and his new partner, gorgeous Gary Young, managed by Tojo Yamamoto. Today on the program, you'll see highlights of Jeff Jarrett in a Southern Heavyweight Championship match, a match that was held earlier this evening here at the Sportatorium, plus much, much more. We've got all that action ready to come your way. I hope you're ready. We're coming up with the action right after this. Welcome in to USWA Wrestling, and this is our opening action. Ed Robinson against Cody Michaels to start things up. And boy, has it been a red-hot week in the USWA. The world is buzzing over the fact that flamboyant Eric Embry has turned coat and joined forces with Tojo Yamamoto. Not only that, winning a match, actually a second match. Superstar Bill Dundee had previously defended his Texas title against the Awesome Kong. Then an immediate challenge issued by flamboyant Eric Embry, accepted by Bill Dundee. And Dundee loses the title to Eric Embry with a lot of help from some outside friends. And the wrestling world further sent reeling by the fact that Tojo Yamamoto has been able to thus far buy his way right back into the USWA. Nice fireman's carry and a slam by Cody Michaels. Goes after the pin on Ed Robinson, but Robinson's up after a 2 count. We got a big show upcoming today. You'll see Stunning Steve Austin in a match where the winner will get a shot at the Southern title, now held by Jeff Jarrett. He'll take on the current world light heavyweight champion, the Nightmare Danny Davis. That will be a non-title match, but the winner of that match will be getting a shot at the Southern title. Also, we will see a match involving the Awesome Kong. He'll be in a match against Billy Joe Travis a little bit later on the program. We're also going to see if we can get some comments from flamboyant Eric Embry and Tojo Yamamoto. And I guess the other surprise is newfound friend, gorgeous Gary Young. Very, very much a surprise. We'll also try to have a talk, if we can, with superstar Bill Dundee about all of this sudden turn of events. And I have been told that JC the Ice Baby has some comments to make, which doesn't surprise me, but we'll be getting into all that a little bit later on in the program. Ed Robinson, in the meantime, with that elbow coming off on Cody Michaels. Cody goes for the roll-up, small package. Count of 1 was all he got. Ed Robinson and Cody Michaels, 2 young wrestlers coming up very quickly in the world of the USWA, but right now I gotta say that the focus of that world on all the events surrounding flamboyant Eric Embry and his relationship with Tojo Yamamoto. And we're going to be showing you some footage of a match that was held earlier tonight at the Sportatorium involving Eric Embry and Bill Dundee. We'll have that coming up very shortly, and you don't want to miss that. If you miss the action at the Sportatorium on Friday nights, you are missing a whale of action. A lot of action that we're unable to bring you here on television, but we will recap some of it as much as we possibly can. Nice move by Cody Michaels. Goes for the reverse backslide, rolls him over. 1, 2, and 3. Cody Michaels with a victory over Ed Robinson in very quick fashion here on USWA Wrestling. A big card of action is scheduled for the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas, Friday night. And you don't want to miss a minute of it. Let's take a look at the entire card. It's a USWA Wrestling Supercard Friday night at the Sportatorium. This week, all kids 12 and under get in free when accompanied by a paying adult. In the first match, Curtis Thompson, the U.S. male, and Chris Walker battle Hollywood John Tatum in the Dog of War. You'll see stunning Steve Austin take on Cody Michaels. A very special added match sees JC the Ice Baby meeting referee Tony Falk. A World Light Heavyweight Championship match will be on tap for the first time in Dallas, as Dr. Tom Pritchard challenges the champion, Nightmare Danny Davis. The Southern Heavyweight Championship on the line as Jeff Jarrett defends the belt against the Awesome Kong. And the main event, a grudge tag battle. Superstar Bill Dundee teams with Billy Joe Travis to fight flamboyant Eric Embry and gorgeous Gary Young with Tojo Yamamoto. Advance tickets on sale Friday morning at 9 at the Sportatorium box office. Remember, this week, kids 12 and under free at the Sportatorium. We'll see you Friday night for this USWA Wrestling Supercard at the Sportatorium. In the Sportatorium, a match involving Eric Embry and superstar Bill Dundee took place, and what a wild affair it is. Strange bedfellows now exist. Eric Embry teaming with gorgeous Gary Young. That is a special tag team match coming up this coming Friday night at the Sportatorium against superstar Bill Dundee and Billy Joe Travis. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the match between Embry and Dundee and what transpired.
Eric, I want to set the record straight right now. I've known you a long time, a lot longer than any of these people. But what you have done, and looking at you right now, makes me sick to my stomach.
Referee Tony Falk admonishing Eric Embry right in front of us.
Yeah, but this is a referee already telling you before the match gets started. He's already showing his prejudice against Eric Embry.
Superstar Bill Dundee now carrying the fight right to flamboyant Eric Embry, kicking at the head. A little bit of the eye for the eye and the tooth for the tooth syndrome.
Well, if you also notice, Tony Falk has not been admonishing Bill Dundee one bit in his repertoire, but earlier in the match, Falk was all over Eric Embry. Now tell me if this isn't prejudice.
Count of two quickly on Dundee as Embry went for the roll-up, and look at Dundee. Well, superstar Bill Dundee, when you get this little man mad, you have done something, because he is as big of an alley fighter as anybody 6'10" and 500 pounds. There's enough fight in that man to last 3 men, and Eric Embry, I think, realizes that at this point in the match. He's a little groggy as he comes to the floor as he receives instructions from his mentor, Tojo Yamamoto.
Well, it's an old cliche been used time and time again, but I'll say it for the 100,000th time. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's definitely the size of the fight in the dog when you're talking about someone like Bill Dundee. Here's a man who had to work his way up all through his life, fight larger, more meaner, more aggressive men, and he has made his way to the top, because at one time he was the Texas heavyweight champion. You cannot deny that, man.
And a body slam on the floor of the Sportatorium by Dundee on Eric Embry. Tojo Yamamoto shouting instructions at Eric, and I would think maybe now Eric may have some second thoughts about joining forces with Tojo Yamamoto, as right now he's a champion literally on the ropes.
Well, I'll tell you this, don't count Eric Embry out, because Bill Dundee ain't exactly the smartest guy in the world to get that close to the ropes.
And Dundee belted into the pole here at ringside. Eric Embry closing in on the superstar. We've got to get out of the way here as Dundee head rammed into our desk here at ringside. I have lost Tom Pritchard, who was doing some commentating with me, as Tom looks like a cheerleader over there. Embry and Dundee right in the middle of a fierce floor fight here at the Sportatorium. Dundee rolled back into the ring. Eric Embry back into the ring. I saw you over there cheerleading.
You notice that I didn't touch either man. You notice I could have, but I didn't touch either man. And as I was saying, Bill Dundee is not the smartest guy in the world to want to get out here on the floor and mix it up with Eric Embry.
It has been a brutal fight thus far in this match. Eric Embry, now the defending Texas heavyweight champion. Superstar Bill Dundee trying to regain the gold belt. And these two men obviously now developing a severe dislike for each other. And Dundee using his head, literally, against Eric Embry with headbutts to the jaw.
Well, Dundee in his family are very, very close. Back in Australia, his father used to walk him to school every day. You know why? Because they were in the same grade.
Dundee with a flying press off the ropes. A count of 2 was all he got. Dundee is incensed. Eric Embry backing up into the corner, want to make amends, but Dundee's not buying it. And now, here comes Gorgeous Gary Young. Wait a minute, what is this? Gorgeous Gary Young is Eric Embry's arch enemy.
Can you believe this? Is Tojo Yamamoto not the smartest man in professional wrestling? Here are 2 men, sworn enemies in professional wrestling for years and years. And here you have Tojo Yamamoto not only having Eric Embry, but he has now brought Gorgeous Gary Young to his side.
Joining me at ringside, Tojo Yamamoto, Gorgeous Gary Young, and Eric Embry, and I know there's money in that briefcase.
I told you, Michael, hey, Michael, I'm going to take over. I'm going to do the impossible with Eric Embry and Gary Young.
This coming Friday night at the Sportatorium, a tag team match has been signed. You 2 bitter enemies now on the same team against superstar Bill Dundee.
Wait a minute, why don't you shut up for a minute? You don't know what you're talking about. First of all, you said we were the most unnatural team there was. I'm here to tell Texas one thing. Eric and I fought each other for 2 years, back and forth, spilled each other's blood. This man right here probably did the most impossible thing, but money talks, baby. Money talks, and the rest of it walks. And I'm here to say to Eric Embry right now, we fought our way thick and thin, but I'm here to stand beside you right now, baby, all the way.
You know why I'm with Gary Young? Because he's the only person around here that's got enough guts to stand up for what he believes in. I told you I was taking the Texas heavyweight title back, and I took it back. Now, Bill Dundee and Billy Travis, Friday night, you're going to have to fight harder than you've ever fought in your life, because everybody knows that I ain't never backed down from anybody, any place, nothing, man, on the face of God's green earth. So Friday night, Superstar and Billy Travis, you come to fight, man. You come to fight. Now, there's some of you sitting out there, you say, what's wrong with Eric Embry? There ain't nothing wrong with me. You let me down. I ain't never changed. I should have listened to him a long, long time ago.
Superstar Bill Dundee and Billy Joe Travis have some things to say about this. Let's take a look at it.
You know, Eric Embry, I've been coming here for 2 years. 2 years you've been telling me how these people loved you. Now, you say they've let you down. Let me tell you something, punk. You've let those people down, and you say you've never backed down from anybody. Well, old Billy Joe's backed down from a lot of people, and what I need to do as an equalizer, I'll bring it. Whatever I got to do, you and Gary Young's going down Friday night. I promise you, pal.
You got that right, Billy Joe. Hey, when it comes to fighting, brother, you take a look at this face. It's been around a long time, Jack. It's been around a long time, and it's been punched, kicked, scratched, and bit by better men than you. Now, let me tell you something, Gary Young. I'm glad you showed up, brother, because now we got all the rats in the same boat. We knew you was lurking around somewhere, because if there's anything going to be done for money, you're going to be around doing it, punk. And that's right. You're all in the same boat. You, Eric Embry, and Tojo Yamamoto, Billy Joe Travis, and the Superstars coming to fight, brother. There'll be no go-behinds, no takedowns. It may start up in the ring and end up in the man's bathroom. That'll be fine, too. But you can rest assured we're going to beat your brains out or die trying, punk.
With you on USWA Wrestling, I've been joined at ringside by the controversial Dr. Tom Pritchard. And the winner of this match upcoming gets a shot at the Southern Heavyweight Championship, now held by Simply Irresistible Jeff Jarrett. The participants tonight are Stunning Steve Austin, 266 pounds, and the USWA World Light Heavyweight Champion, Nightmare Danny Davis, at 209 pounds. The Nightmare giving up a lot of weight to the big man Austin, but you're talking about a man that holds the belt, the light heavyweight champion, the only one in the world today.
Well, I think Stunning Steve Austin definitely has a fantastic future ahead of him in this sport, because being the 1990 Rookie of the Year has given him the confidence he needs to compete against a veteran and a world light heavyweight champion like Danny Davis.
Well, it's very obvious that this could not be a title match because Stunning Steve Austin weight exceeds the limits of the light heavyweight championship, which is, I understand, at 210 pounds. And Danny Davis at 209, coming in on the scale just under that, has held this title, I understand, for quite a long time.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I thought the World Light Heavyweight Championship was the limit was around 230. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm going to have to check into it myself. I'm weighing a good 227 right now, and I wouldn't mind challenging Nightmare Danny Davis for that World Light Heavyweight Championship. Even though I am a full-fledged heavyweight and I do compete in the heavyweight ranks just as Danny Davis, I would like nothing better than to knock Danny Davis off his so-called throne.
I stand corrected. In checking my notes here at ringside, the light heavyweight championship, the weight limit is 225 pounds. Can you drop a couple of pounds, Dr. Tom?
Yeah, well, if it called for it, if I had an opportunity, maybe. I don't know.
In the meantime, Stunning Steve Austin at this point taking the measure of the Nightmare Danny Davis. I failed to mention, and it is certainly not an oversight on my part because she is certainly a stunning woman at ringside, the lovely Jeannie, accompanying Steve Austin to the ring for the matches here at the Sportatorium. And Jeannie applauding now her man. Now a little conversation ensuing between Austin and Jeannie.
I think that might give it just a little more incentive when you're in the ring. You got somebody like Jeannie on the outside. Wouldn't that make you want to maybe impress a woman like that? Wouldn't that make you fight just a little bit harder to know that not only you'll walk away with a winner's purse tonight, but you'll be walking away with Jeannie in one of her better moods, man. And I don't know what could be better than that.
Did you say that Stunning Steve Austin was going to walk away with Jeannie's purse?
No. The winner's purse, and then maybe walk away with Jeannie in a fantastic mood. They can go out on the town, they can celebrate, and they will have a wonderful time.
And the winner, of course, will get the Southern Heavyweight title shot. And look at that right hand by Austin. Referee James Beard stepping in to break things up, but Austin with a little sucker punch there, taking every advantage on the Nightmare Danny Davis, and Danny being choked by Austin right in front of us here at the table.
Well, no matter what you say about Danny Davis being a light heavyweight champion, no matter what you say about Steve Austin being a full-fledged heavyweight, Nightmare Danny Davis can definitely deliver some heavyweight chops and punches in the wrestling ring.
Austin with the clothesline on Danny Davis, and Danny out in the ring and now being stepped on in the throat area again by Austin. And you're talking about 266 pounds of pressure coming down on the throat of the Nightmare.
I am very, very impressed with the agility and ability of Stunning Steve Austin. He is moving like a cat. In fact, you might say he's moving like a light heavyweight in the ring tonight.
Right now, Austin taking the measure of Nightmare Danny Davis. Danny, a substantial underdog. Look at this. Look at this.
Now, you know, maybe Danny might have called her a name. He might have insulted her dignity. He might have insulted this woman, and you don't do that to a woman like Jeannie. She doesn't take too much from nobody, from what I understand, man.
Austin going in on the Nightmare, and a belly-to-back suplex puts him down. Austin confident with just a lackadaisical press that time, but Danny Davis, knowing it and feeling it, is out from underneath at the count of two.
But if you notice, Stunning Steve Austin is controlling Nightmare Danny Davis, who is a veteran of the ring wars, and this Stunning Steve Austin is showing that he is very, very fastly becoming a veteran. He is learning quickly. He is learning every time he steps through those ropes, and he's showing his learned ability against Nightmare Danny Davis this evening.
Here's Davis coming off the ropes. Davis caught with the knee. I agree with you that Austin is a force to be reckoned with in the USWA, but I must insist that this match, even though looking at some way of a mismatch, You've got the speed and the agility and the quickness of a Nightmare Danny Davis against the youth, the exuberance, and the raw strength and talent of a stunning Steve Austin. This is a good matchup, even though distribution weight-wise, it's a little tipped to one side of the scale.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say it was a mismatch. I would say you got it, maybe not on even terms because of Danny Davis's ability and ring time. But stunning Steve Austin looks like he's had more ring time than he actually has had. He has been controlling this match. He has been controlling Danny Davis, and this says a lot for the ability of this young man.
I cannot help but keep noticing Jeannie, who is scowling at ringside right now, although that Austin has the reverse chinlock on Danny Davis. Jeannie not pleased that Austin didn't get a pin already in this match and taking this one home.
Well, I think Jeannie is looking stunning herself this evening, and she's there not only for moral support, but maybe Danny Davis can't keep his eyes off her, and maybe that's what got Danny Davis in all this trouble to begin with.
I agree with you saying that Jeannie is a stunning woman, but I must disagree. I am perhaps from the old school. I don't agree with having Jeannie in the corner of someone like Steve Austin with the ability to interfere in a match. If she wants to be a wrestler, let's put her in the ring. Let's put her up against a sweet Georgia Brown. Let's put her up against a good woman wrestler. But don't stand on the outside and do more than moral support. I mean, this is a woman that gets involved.
I think that's your opinion, and you know hell have no fury like a woman scorned. And if Danny Davis is going to insult this woman, I don't think she should stand by and take that.
Right now, Danny Davis taking the punishment from stunning Steve Austin, and Austin has had things going his way in this match just about the entire duration. And Danny needs a break of some sort, but he's not going to get it like that, and he's certainly not going to get it like that.
Now, Danny, I think, might have spit up, got something in her eye, and now you don't do that to a lady. You don't treat a lady like that, ringside or not.
I quite frankly disagree with you, Dr. Tom Pritchard. I don't think Jeannie is acting.
Now look at Steve Austin take control. He has not let up for the past 4 or 5 minutes on Danny Davis. He has this man in complete control. This guy is showing me a lot of fortitude. He's showing me that he has a lot on the ball, and he will definitely be a force to reckon with within the next few years of his short career.
Danny Davis coming out of that. He may have had a partial sleeper on Danny Davis that time, but Davis now just caught in the reverse chinlock. The referee checking with Danny to see if he wants to give it up. I don't think Danny Davis wants to give up even the possibility of a shot at the Southern Heavyweight Championship.
Well, you notice Austin has his fingers locked around the chin. He's got it pretty secure. He's got his knee up against his back, and you're right. These guys are fighting for the chance to wrestle the Southern Heavyweight Champion, regardless of who it is. And they want to show, both of these guys want to show to the people here in Texas that they are worthy of a championship belt.
Danny Davis is caught in the reverse chinlock. He's coming to his feet. Danny Davis needs to break this hold, but instead Steve Austin raking at the eyes. A little delay on Austin's part as to what to do, and it gave enough room for Danny Davis to duck out of the way, and stunning Steve is on the floor.
Well, Austin delayed his way on him the whole match, and all Danny had to do was move out of the way one time, and here came Austin sprawling out on the floor, and Davis, being a ring general he is, took advantage of the situation.
Austin going after Danny up against that ring pole, caught the corner of it with his shoulder. Stunning Steve is down and is reeling with the punches of Nightmare Danny Davis. Davis follows Austin back into the ring. Now a reversal. Flying body press. 1, 2, oh. I thought he had him, Tom.
Well, as I said, Danny Davis may be a light heavyweight champion, but he packs a heavyweight punch.
That is a neck breaker, Nightmare style. And that is the Nightmare neck breaker. Davis closing in. Flying mare out of the corner. Is this a man possessed or not? Danny Davis taking the fight right to stunning Steve Austin.
Well, I think once he got his second win, Danny Davis is going to take full advantage because he wants a shot at that Southern heavyweight title, too.
Austin rolling him up, 1, 2, and 3.
But he don't want it as bad as Steve Austin does, obviously.
Stephen Austin with a big advantage, winning the match. He'll now get a shot at the Southern Heavyweight Championship. But I believe you would even agree, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Austin using the advantage of the ropes to his advantage to win the match. We'll take this break, and we'll be back with more on USWA Wrestling right after this. Match was on tap. Simply irresistible Jeff Jarrett defending his belt against Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And guess who shows up? The Awesome Kong. Take a look. Threatening to break the leg of simply irresistible Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett trying to reverse it. This is a hold that, if done properly and correctly, could be reversed. And if anybody knows how to do that, I can assure you that simply irresistible Jeff Jarrett does. 1, 2, Jarrett's back on the mat, though, as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert maintains the advantage. What a battle we have had for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Jeff Jarrett trying to escape. Referee James Beard watching carefully. Can Jeff Jarrett turn the tables on Eddie Gilbert? Jarrett trying to come out of the figure 4, nearly, but no. Eddie Gilbert maintaining the hold. 1, 2, and again, Jeff Jarrett nearly pinned by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert for the Southern title. It has been a real strong match for both men at different points. Jeff Jarrett had things going early in the match his way. Eddie Gilbert took an advantage away as the referee stepped in to keep Eddie from getting punched, and has since then had the advantage in the match. Now Jeff Jarrett with a reversal. It's still a figure 4, but it is a reversed figure 4. Jarrett with the advantage, but Eddie Gilbert finds the lower strand of ropes to break the hold. Jeff Jarrett coming up, hobbling on one leg. A big right hand to Eddie. There's another one. Jarrett and Gilbert exchanging punches toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring. Both men punching away. Jarrett with the advantage. He winds up and delivers from right field. Jarrett closing in. Gilbert put into the turnbuckle, and Jeff followed, but Eddie Gilbert caught him with the knee. Eddie going for the cover. 1, 2. 2 count was all he got. Gilbert had his leg on the rope. The referee counted 2, but that was it. And Jarrett escaped. Moves the referee out of the way. Throws a right hand to Gilbert. And now JC the Ice Baby at ringside with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Jarrett going after him, and now JC has Jeff Jarrett from outside. Gilbert goes in for the cover. 2. Count of 2 was all he got. Jeff Jarrett escaped JC from outside and escaped the pin from Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert going over to Jarrett. He may have something in his hand, and he just nailed Jeff Jarrett with whatever it was. The bell is rung. I thought I heard a bell. 1, 2, and that's all. It was an inadvertent bell. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert now caught by Jeff Jarrett's right hand again 3 times. Here comes JC, brought into the ring by Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett going after JC. Now we've got an order for the bell. JC wailing his arms in the ring. Eddie Gilbert has Jeff Jarrett down. He's still working on that knee. JC is waving it, looks like, to the dressing room. And oh my goodness, here comes Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong is coming into the ring at the insistence of JC. He's gonna splash that leg. And Jeff Jarrett writhing in pain as Awesome Kong splashed that leg, is gonna do it again and does. May have caught him with the knee even that time. This is 455 pounds of Awesome Kong. A technical loss for Eddie Gilbert in the championship match, but now Kong is climbing the ring ropes. This could be devastating to the career of Jeff Jarrett. They're obviously trying to break his leg. Kong is on the ropes. Here comes Billy Joe Travis. Travis nailing Kong. Superstar Bill Dundee into the ring. He goes after Eddie Gilbert. Jeff Jarrett's back on his feet. He's going to try to slam Kong and dive. Jeff Jarrett getting some well-deserved help from Billy Joe Travis and Bill Dundee after JC brought Awesome Kong into the ring to try to do damage to that leg. JC the Ice Baby has some comments for Simply Irresistible Jeff Jarrett. Let's hear what he has to say.
Jeff Jarrett, man, this is your worst nightmare, brother. Take a real good look at him. Take a good look at him, son. He's 6'4". He weighs 500 pounds. He's a lean, mean, man-eating machine, brother. His name is Awesome Kong. Dallas, Texas, you are looking at the new Southern Heavyweight Champion. Come Friday night, Jeff Jarrett, you better eat a lot of Wheaties, son, and you better be in for a real good fight, brother, because my man don't know nothing about wrestling. He's here for one thing, and that's to do what I say, and that's to become a champion. Look out, Jeff.
Earlier tonight in your match with Eddie Gilbert, JC and the Awesome Kong tried to put you out of commission for life, son.
That's exactly right. Well, Michael, it looks like everybody wants a shot at Jeff Jarrett and the Southern Heavyweight title. Yes, Steve Austin, I just saw you won that match, and you're in line, brother, but there's a long line. Now, Eddie Gilbert, you said you were going to come to Dallas, Texas, and take this Southern belt away. Well, pal, it's still around my waist, and it's going to be there for a long time. And now, Awesome Kong and you little shrimp, JC, you hadn't got to come down and interfere in my matches like everybody else tries to do. No, if you want a Southern shot, you just go to Max Andrews, or you come and tell me personally, but don't jump me from behind. Now, Awesome Kong, you better get big and ready, because I know you're big and bad, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, Kong, this Friday night, brother, you better show up, because to get this Southern Heavyweight title, which I worked long and hard to get, you're going to have to pin my shoulders. And to pin my shoulders, Kong, you're going to have to darn near kill me.
Friday night, right here at the Sportatorium, Kong goes after the Southern belt of Jeff Jarrett. Let's take a look at the entire Dallas card for the Sportatorium Friday night. Wrestling. What is Tojo Yamamoto doing at ringside? I'm
not sure. Maybe he's scouting talent. Maybe he's Awesome Kong. Maybe he wants to take a look at Billy Joe Travis. Who knows?
This can only mean trouble. Tojo Yamamoto at ringside. And right away, Billy Joe Travis chasing JC, the Ice Baby, into the ring. This is our feature match here on USWA Wrestling. The Awesome Kong, 455 pounds from parts unknown. JC, the Ice Baby, is his manager, taking on the very popular Billy Joe Travis, 225 out of Lexington, Kentucky. And there you have Tojo Yamamoto, and this can only spell trouble, Tom.
Why do you say it can only spell trouble? It spelled nothing but titles for Eric Embry, and it's going to spell nothing but success for Eric Embry and Gary Young, if you ask me. I don't see any kind of trouble for anybody except maybe Billy Joe Travis.
Before we get involved in this match too far along, I want to say a big hello to Harold Kelly, who is in Parkland Hospital, a big USWA wrestling fan, here at the Sportatorium on Friday nights with us, and hope you get well real soon, Harold, and get back to the action. Also, Gilda Ferguson is in the Hebrew Hospital, and we wish her a speedy get well.
Hey, wait, whoa. We're not running any Roy Rogers or Gina Claire variety show here. This is professional wrestling. We don't have time to read people's names. If you're in the hospital, tough luck, man. If you had me as your doctor, then it's a different story. But I don't think you got time to be reading off people's names. Let's talk about JC, the Ice Baby, and what he and his man, the Awesome Kong, are going to be doing to Billy Travis.
Well, right now, Awesome Kong taking the fight to Billy Joe Travis. Look at that. Travis hitting that time with the right-hand side of the face. stunned Kong a bit, but that's almost like a bee sting on a man this size.
Well, Billy Travis reminds me kind of like a bee. He's a very annoying person. He walks around buzzing all the time, man. He has a little stinger, and he wants to come around and hit you with this and hit you with that. It's going to take a lot more to put this awesome Kong down.
I think the little stinger is outside of the ring in JC the Ice Baby. He flies around this ring like a bee.
Now, you got a lot of nerve talking about JC. This kid has come a long way. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with when you talk about managers in professional wrestling within the next 2 years, I predict.
Right now, conversing with referee James Beard. All right, you were talking about the mismatch here of Kong and Billy Joe Travis. Let me pose a question to you, Dr. Tom Pritchard. If you were in the ring wrestling the awesome Kong right now, what would you do?
First of all, I would be training my hardest all week long when I knew I had a match with Awesome Kong, and then I'd hit him a little low, take his legs out from under him, and make sure he's down on the mat, because when you're on the mat, you're all the same size. And I've got enough hooking maneuvers, I've got enough wrestling talent to hold this big guy on the mat. But the thing is, I'm not in the ring wrestling him. And how Billy Joe Travis prepared for this match, let's watch and see.
Billy Joe Travis trying to regain his composure after taking a vicious shoulder block from the Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong has had his moments with the Texas heavyweight champion Billy Dundee when he was Texas heavyweight champion, and now Kong has decided that he wants a shot at that Southern heavyweight belt of Jeff Jarrett, and I don't think that Kong quite knows what he's getting into.
Well, I don't think Jeff Jarrett quite knows what he's getting into. When you get in the ring with this big man, he already tried to break Jarrett's leg. He's already given Jarrett a taste of what 450 pounds would feel like coming down on your body, Jeff Jarrett.
We're going to have to break away for the action from this action, but we will be back to more of our feature match here on USWA Wrestling.
He has a vested interest in the USWA and the top talent here. And if you can't tell me the Awesome Kong is top talent, I don't know who is.
Well, I'll agree with you to a certain extent. This Kong is an awesome individual. But Billy Joe Travis right now working Kong the way that I think he should be worked, and that is stay out of his way. The old rope-a-dope theory, if you would.
Well, if you stay out of his way, that's another good strategy, man. If you can, go ahead and sting him. But if you can get him on the mat, ride him a little while, tire this guy out, show him that you can wrestle, which I'm not too sure Billy Joe Travis knows too many wrestling moves. All he's done so far is just punch and kick. Get him on the mat. Show me you can wear him down and wrestle. Then I'll be impressed.
Billy Joe Travis moved in for a scoop slam and could not budge Kong. In the meantime, Kong standing auspiciously in the ring, inviting Billy Joe, JC the Ice Baby. I don't know what he's saying, but I can assure you it's propaganda right now.
Well, I can assure you it's probably words of encouragement, probably words of praise for his man, the Awesome Kong. This is definitely a good coup for this kid to get a man this size on his side and with him.
Well, with Kong in the ring, that's awesome enough. You got JC in his corner, and then in another corner, you got Tojo Yamamoto, who is talking with one of the fans, but now with his attention back into the ring, and I can just see it in his eyes, and I can barely see his eyes. He's got something in mind, and I can assure you it's diabolical, whatever it is.
Tojo Yamamoto has already shocked the entire wrestling world.
Kong.
What is this?
Here's gorgeous Gary Young coming to the ring.
Yes.
Here's flamboyant Eric Embry in the ring. And they start working over Billy Joe Travis. What prompted this?
Well, I don't know, but Billy Joe Travis and Eric Embry definitely have a long history, going back a long way.
Here comes Jeff Jarrett. Here comes superstar Bill Dundee.
They got no business being here. I'm helping my friends.
Wait a minute. Dr. Tom, you're commentating. Now Tom Pritchard's in the ring. We have a melee that's broken out, and Tojo Yamamoto is just smiling in the corner. Jeff Jarrett, Awesome Kong paired up. Dr. Tom Pritchard in the ring with Bill Dundee. Gary Young in the ring with Jeff Jarrett. Here comes the Nightmare Danny Davis. Flamboyant Eric Embry in the ring with Billy Joe Travis. affairs. They're slugging it out in the ring. Lefts and rights all over the place. The referee is out on the floor. He can't control it. Flamboyant Eric Embry is coming to the floor. He's got a chair. Oh my goodness, the chair's in the ring. Now my chair's in the ring. Or actually, it's out of the ring. It's in Bill Dundee's hands. Dundee, their chairs all over the ring. It is a brawl at the Sportatorium now. Travis and Jarrett working over gorgeous Gary Young. Nightmare Danny Davis in the ring. Awesome Kong catching the chair. Dundee in there. Flamboyant Eric Embry. There's one for Gary Young. Boy, did he ever get nailed. I hope we are showing you the tremendous fight that has ensued in the ring with a multitude of wrestlers, chairs, fists, fury. Kong has got a chair. What does a man 455 pounds need with a chair? Dundee with the chair going after Eric Embry. Billy Joe Travis has one. Gorgeous Gary Young taking the brunt of a chair. Dr. Tom Pritchard on the floor with Nightmare Danny Davis. What a war. This is worse than any battle royal. Flamboyant Eric Embry and Gary Young came to the ring first.